just getting by. Those were slave jobs. We're just getting by every day, y'all. I'm just getting by. What can I say, y'all? I'm just getting by. Working at 8 to 5. But I'm just getting by. My bills keep stacking high. And I'm just getting by. They gave us slave lives. I'm just getting by. What can I say? I'm just getting by. Ramen noodles every night. Yeah, I know what that's like. No food in the refrigerator. See you later. I'll go to the neighbors, knock on the door. Can I borrow some sugar? Oh, by the way, can I borrow some bread? Give me a stick of butter. If you're my brother, when you clean out your cupboard, send it over my way. Then you'll know that I'm fed. Laying in bed trying to get some sleep, but I didn't even get to eat. I'm tossing and turning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta get up early. Gotta go to work so I can pay the bills. Maybe this week I'll have some money left over. That way I can say that I ate a meal. Working at 8 to 5. I'm just getting by. Those were slave jobs. We're just getting by every day, y'all. I'm just getting by. What can I say, y'all? I'm just getting by. Working at 8 to 5.
Shalom, shalom. This is a man called Gavar. Welcome back to the channel. Another in my ongoing series of 15-minute snippets, briefing you and educating you all out there in the interweb about some things you should know about. I opened up today with a song from my beloved brother Todd Philibom, Ethos de Capo, a little catchy ditty called Getting By, talking about working as a slave, y'all. Just getting by. What can I say, y'all? I'm just getting by. Well, you know what? Those days are over. I have been in a 3-year, approximately, probably actually longer than that, probably, well, since 2020 at least, self-imposed teshuva, beating my body down, bringing it into submission to serve myself, to serve Ya-oo-ah with all of myself in the kingdom. And today we're going to talk about equity, interest, recovery. See it right there? There's my cursor. You see the cursor? See the cursor about mid-screen? Equity, interest, recovery. Let's read, shall we? This is right out of the document that I'll be using for Volume 2, which I'm going to entitle That They May Serve Me, following up on Let My People Go. The next verse was That They May Serve Me. That's what's going to be the next segment. If you haven't seen part 1, I invite you to visit my website, A Man Called Gavar. That's GEVAR.com. Click on the Mission tab, and you will see a video there entitled Let My People Go, where I talk about the fraudulent fiat currency system. I quote that quote that says, "Gold is the money of kings and queens. Silver is the money of gentlemen. Barter is the currency of peasants. But credit or debt is the currency of slaves." And the allegory and the really interesting thing that people need to pick up on, if you're a member of the body of Messiah, is that if you're in chains, brothers and sisters, if you're struggling to get by and you can't make ends meet, it's not Yahuwah's fault. I say again, if you're not making it in this world, you're struggling to get by, it is not Yahuwah's fault. Everything is in place for us to rise above all this, but you got to take off your Egyptian garments, in the words of my brother Todd, and follow the ways of Yahuwah's army. So we're going to talk today about what that means. Now, we're not talking about welfare, not talking about food stamps, not talking about SSI benefits, because if you're on this channel long enough, you'll understand and you'll figure it out. All those things come from your Sesta KV trust account anyway. And all you're doing by applying for those benefits, privileges, is, well, 2 things you're doing. 1, you're confirming you're an ignorant slave and a U.S. citizen, and you're begging your daddy Elohim government for a benefit. And in doing so, you are violating the first and greatest commandment, because now you're serving them, because now you're beholden to them. I had a conversation with a brother of mine, dear brother I love dearly, always been there for me, but he's on SSI now, and so he's beholden to the government Breaks my heart to see people do that. Now, there's a way you can do it within the proper way of getting equity interest recovery, but it's all about the way you sign your name. It's all about your status. It's all about taking off those Egyptian garments and no longer being within their system, but being above it. So today, with the remaining time I have, about 10 minutes left, I want to talk about and introduce you to the concept of equity interest recovery. Middle of the page right there. Equity interest recovery. What is that? Well, this document here, I encourage you all to check it out, download it off the internet. You can just type in the title right there. Notice the memorandum. Points and authorities in support of International Bill of Exchange. And you should thoroughly read this, become thoroughly familiar, because it is your remedy in our confusing times. Go back down to the page I was on. So let's understand something, okay? HJR 192 of 1933 established a brand new public policy, a brand new monetary policy. They took away all the gold. I talk about this in my Let My People Go. I'm not going to belabor the point. I thoroughly explained this in that message. Go back and watch it. They took away the gold. They also took away all your property. Because if you read the same Senate debate that I read portions of in that presentation, if you go back to the was it 43rd Congress, first session, I think it was, you can, from June of 1933, they make the statement there that the money, this new money, will not be backed by gold or silver because it doesn't need to be. It's backed by the property of all the citizens, of all the people in the country, which they pledged, okay? They pledged all of our stuff. Now, class, are you paying attention? Pay attention. Give me your attention. Do any of you recall when they asked you if they could do that? I don't remember any being asked if they could do that. Well, the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, and also the Declaration of Independence, as well as the 14th Amendment even, which is fraudulent, but it even acknowledges that private property cannot be taken by the government without compensation. And so this is your compensation. After the fact, they went back. Supreme Court in 1935 came out with a landmark case, which you can't find online, where they basically told Congress, you guys just committed treason against the Constitution. You took away the people's money. You took away all their property. You took away their ability to pay a debt. You better come up with some remedy, because if you don't, they're going to hang you for treason against the Constitution, because you can't do that. So they went ahead and made some amendments and put this policy in place for, highlighted part there, discharge of lawful debts in commerce in conjunction with U.S. obligations to that portion of the public debt it is intended to reduce. Oh, we got FedEx pulling up. Interesting. Okay, so during the financial crisis and depression in 1933, substance of gold, silver, and real money was removed as a foundation for our financial system. In its place, the substance of the American citizenry, their real property, their wealth, their assets, and their productivity, which belongs to them, was in effect pledged. There's that word, Edward Mandell House. Operate under the ancient system of pledging, and no one will be the wiser. For even if 1 in a million discovered our plans, well, guess what? Now there's thousands that have figured it out. Thousands. All our assets were pledged by the government. And what keeps this economy going, brothers and sisters, is the hapless slaves who get up every day and continue to serve this foreign mighty one, this foreign Elohim. Okay? If you're getting up every day, punching the clock, paying FICA taxes, and state taxes and every other doggone taxes that they made up, pulled out of their butt, I got news for you, brothers and sisters. You may be serving a foreign Elohim. About 2012, I decided to get out of that system, and I went completely off the grid. And for about 5 years, I did nothing but traded my labor for food, shelter, and an education in agriculture, Yahuwah's economy. I wanted to become part of what he was about and make my sustenance, my living, my everything based upon his economy, which isn't fraudulent. It's not based on lies, not based on fraud, not based on gross violations of due process and taking away someone's property without due process. Nope. It depends on his faithfulness. And every day the sun comes up, every day the rain clouds drop precipitation on the earth, and every day the sun goes down and the plants grow, and you can depend on Yahuwah and his economy. Got to plug into that economy. But our remedy for what the government did is in this document. And we're going to explain it and break it out and unpack it in my next message. But I wanted to get online today and produce a brief 15 minutes. So here's how you look at it. I got a couple minutes to wrap up. When they took your stuff, they took your property, they took your land, just imagine sea to shining sea, this country. There's a piece of that pie that rightfully belongs to you. The dead have no inheritance. So the founding fathers who died and bled to give it to you, they're gone. But they left it in trust in the Constitution for you to inherit it. Your piece of the pie was, you were entitled to that upon your arrival on the planet, especially here in the United States. So what they did was they quantified that, gave it a name, it's called your legal name, and they attached a Cesta KV trust to it, a signed account number, that's your social security number, and then they charged that credit card, that social security card got charged. Well, it got pumped up with some credit, which, as far as we're concerned, is unlimited, because they look at the economy as being an unlimited, never-ending, expanding operation. So there is no credit limit. You cannot be denied credit. That credit was set up for your benefit, but because you don't know how to manage it, because you don't know how to claim your equity interest recovery due to you as the principal and surety, pledging your property to the government, which was placed at risk as the collateral for all U.S. debt, credit and currency, because you did not know how to manage that. Those nice, fine lawyers over in the Congress critters, they went ahead and appointed themselves as the executor and trustee of your estate, and they are plundering your estate in your absence. So it's time to wake up, stand up and say, hey, I'm alive. I have life in Yahushua. He is the bread of life. I am his child, and I want my stuff back. That's what this is about. That's what equity interest recovery is about. I hope you all get that. If you don't, maybe rewind the tape, go back and listen from the start all over again. Maybe you'll get it second time around. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. It's really not that complicated. They took your stuff, created a credit card that was collateralized by it. Now they're running it up. But here's the thing. When you wake up and realize who you are, you can come back and claim all that, plus you get all the interest and all the profits and dividends that they made in your absence. That's called equity interest recovery. This is a man called Gavar signing out. Contact me at Gavaryahu, Gevaryahu @yahoo.com. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.